This is Howard.
And this is Stern. And this is the Boring Book Talk Show with Howard and Stern.
Today we will be talking about a great book, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens.
It's about a young poor boy named Pip who desires to rise throughout the social class system.
Today we have three guests, our first being Pip. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Woo!
How are you today?
So, without further ado, heard you encountered a convict. How did that make you feel?
When I first encountered the convict in the graveyard, I was terrified of him. He asked me to do some bad things, and I knew they were wrong to do, but he threatened me, and I feared for my life, so I did as he asked me. I stole some whittles and a file from my stepbrother-in-law, Joe, and I gave them to him. I still feel bad about what I did. I know it was wrong, but I think I did as what I needed to do.
I agree with you.
So, Pip, what was the reason that made you want to become a gentleman?
Well, I wanted to become a gentleman so I could be worthy of Estella.
How did you feel when you first visited Sada's house?
Visiting Sada's house was a nightmare. The house was dreary. The windows were boarded up, and it was just filled with darkness, only emptied by candles.
Pip, go call Estella so you two can play.
Estella!
Play! Such coarse hands you have. Such thick boots, too. Pip, she says much of you. What do you think of her? Come tell me in my ear. She says you're pretty, very proud.
I wish to go home now.
Estella, show him out. Get him some food first.
When you first met Herbert, what was the situation? What happened?
I first met Herbert in the garden of Sada's house. He was taunting me, trying to make me fight him, but at first I wouldn't do it. But I eventually agreed to the fight, and I beat him pretty easily. And afterwards, Estella let me kiss her on the cheek.
Alright, come on, fight me.
No, I don't have any reason to fight you.
I'll give you a reason.
Okay.
Right. A little lightning, a little thunder.
Live on the scene here with Herbert. Alright, I have a few questions for you. How did it feel to get pounded on by Pip?
Well, I really thought I could take him at first. I mean, I'm bigger than him, and I really just thought I could, I don't know, he just was really good and strong and just whipped up on me.
Do you usually win your fights?
Not really, but I don't fight all that often. So, I mean,
Would you like an napkin for your face? You can start.
did you get it?
Yeah. Good. Alright. Thank you. Back to you.
So, Pip, how do you feel about your apprenticeship with Joe?
At first I was excited about the idea of becoming Joe's apprentice as a blacksmith, but after my first visit to Sada's house and meeting Estella, I no longer wanted to, because I didn't think being a blacksmith would make me worthy of her, so I wanted to become a gentleman so I could be with her.
How did you feel about when you figured out that Magwitch was your benefactor?
I was shocked when Magwitch told me, actually. All along I had thought it was Miss Havisham, and when I found out it was Magwitch, I learned that Miss Havisham's plans for my future were not to be with Estella, and that kind of broke my heart.
Okay. How did you feel about Miss Jo's funeral? Did it affect you in any sort of way?
Well, I learned of Miss Joe's funeral from a letter I received from Trapping Company. So it came much as a surprise. But me and Mrs. Joe, my sister, weren't very close. You see, she was abusive towards me, and I didn't like her.
And that concludes our questions today, Pip. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
Hey, Pip! Philip! Pibby!
What?
Thanks.
Well, that concludes our questionnaire for Pip. Now on to the next guest, Estella.
More.